Hello everyone and welcome to the South Boston Speedway for the running of the BB&T 300 here in the Crown Royal Truck Series. We got 40 drivers on the grid, a couple have gone home. We had the biggest field of the season, 43 trucks entered this weekend, 3 went home. The 40 drivers will be out here at the short track trying to get themselves into victory lane. But one driver who wants to get into victory lane, 32nd in points, is Irving Allison, your pole sitter for this week. After 4 races, he sits 32nd. 29th is his average finish, and getting a pole here, he's trying to break through, get a victory, because that might be the only way he could make the chase now. There are only 9 races left until we get the 10 drivers fighting for the Crown Royal Truck Series Championship, and Irving Allison is about to be left behind if he cannot capitalize on this run. 32nd in points, trying to move his way towards the front. And Peter Onjak, 4th in points, a great season so far for him in both series, the Trucks and Cup. He's right now in the chase in both of them. But one big surprise, Colton Yeo was inside the top 10, was the points leader for a moment this season, and wasn't even supposed to be full-time in the Crown Royal Truck Series. He qualifies the Evernham Truck 3rd today here at South Boston, trying to get that team a top 5 run, trying to get him back into a chase hunt. If he could win today, a big move towards a wild card slot could get this driver in for the race. He still is not declared full-time though. He has ran every race so far. He's attempted all 5 races, but he's not sure. Depending on if he wants to continue that Mountain Dew Custom Series chance for a championship, or he wants to go full in on the Crown Royal Truck Series. Evernham has given him the option to pull up in this 02 whenever the Texas Star Racing 21 truck is taken. So Yo has been running this truck. We'll see if he can get into the chase with Evernham and TSR in that combo. Eli Bright there is Jay Jefferson. He will roll off 8th. New sponsor, Vivitar, on Stephen Wallace Jr. He's a previous winner here at South Boston in the Mountain Dew Custom Series. He rolls off 10th today for CFRO. Tim Foster will be in the Kamikaze Motorsports number 90. He starts 11th with a fantastic performance by that team. Couple other new sponsors, new faces on these trucks around here. There is Sebastian Kukalon in the PKN Orland 20. He is happy because he and teammate Matty Porta in the Cup Series have both gotten wins for Sauber this season. Great to see Sauber on top at ovals for once. Looking further back, Eric Monaco there, but there's Gatlin Downey in the 18. The Home Depot Mercedes truck, that and Ethan Head running a different side number combo there, and you see really, or what you can't really see is the 18 on the side, but that is the 18 truck for Silver Wolf Racing. Downey was able to get them into the show after their last attempt at making a race DNF, or DNQ'd. Downey was able to make it in. He'll be rolling off back here in the sub-30s, but you see 3 drivers right there. Austin Johnson, Aiden Smith, Riley Spurleytube. Spurleytube is your points leader. He starts this race very far back in the 34th position. And brand new team, Cordell Smith's team, Arklatex Motorsports, here with the number 6. Max Anderson will make the debut for Arklatex Motorsports in this number 6 truck. It will be running, I believe they have Muscle Milk signed on for 6 races and Energy Transfer signed on for another 6 races, so that's at least 12 races they'll be attempting in the final races of the season. 16 left to go in this year though. Maxwell Fye at the back, Joseph Strigley, Cody Smart at the back, but there's the 2 drivers who failed inspection. Kyle Corbett for the 19 team would have started this truck in 14th. He now starts from the 39th position. And Alex Fletcher started sub-30s. He only dropped back a little bit, but he does start this race from the 40th position. It'll be a 75-lap event. We'll see how exciting. We have some racing here at South Boston. We'll see if it can be as clean as, or cleaner than the other short track races this season. Let's go ahead down trackside for the commands to fire the engines here, the BB&T 300.
Drivers, start your engines!
Pepsi and the NSDCA have teamed up this season to bring you the Pepsi Pole Award for the fastest qualifier in all 20 Crown Royal Truck Series races this season. This week it's Irving Allison, a driver looking to redeem himself after a horrible start to the season. The 82 team for Shade Burkhardt Racing puts themselves on the pole. Can they go to victory lane here after 75 laps at the South Boston Speedway? So with that, the engines are fired, 40 trucks roaring to life for 75 laps here at South Boston. One of the smallest tracks on the truck schedule, one of the tightest tracks you'll ever get to in the NSDCA National Series competition. The pit road, very tight. It's barely enough for 2 wide, so you're going to see a lot of probably beatin and bangin coming onto pit road. It's very short. You might lose a lap, even pitting under yellow for 4 tires. Fuel window about 35 to 40 laps around here, so we should probably see, could see a 1 pit stop race depending. We'll probably see a couple more depending on how the cautions play out here, because you know it is a short track in the NSDCA. But Irving Allison wants to get himself a victory. He's alongside Peter Onjak. Green flag is in the air. We are racing, and it's a fantastic jump for Irving and a horrible start for Colton Lane as he's going to drop back. The outside line might not be able to power too much, but Onjak is not going to let it hold him back. Side by side for the race lead through 1 and 2, but that's going to lose it there into 3 and 4, and coming out of 3 and 4 back into 1 and 2. Onjak now has Colton Yeo to the inside as Irving Allison clears. Flyby as they come off around for lap number 2, and you see just 2 by 2. There's really nowhere to go. Looking back here, you see Alex Fletcher's already 3 wide. Kyle Corbett making his way up back to the back is Max Anderson. There's really nowhere to go. You can make 3 wide here. It's fine to run 3 wide here, as long as the middle guy, you know, keeps some distance between them. As long as you give each other at least a little bit of distance and don't end up hooking each other, it can work. And you'll probably see that a lot back here from probably 15th on back, especially on restarts, because there's just nowhere to go. When you're in line here, as Colton Yeo is going to make a move for the race lead on Irving Allison, and here he goes. Allison's going to be dethroned. Colton Yeo's going to get a lap led, and Evernham Racing trying to get their first truck victory today, and they are out in front in that 0-2 now with Colton Yeo. But as we were saying, it's pretty nice to get passes done here. You just got to really just throw it on in. Most of the track is braking, so you just got to brake a little bit less than the guy in front of you to catch him. But the further back you are, the more you're going to be on the brake because, as we'll see back here, there's just so many trucks in front of you. They have different braking lines, and it's just going to be an accordion effect if you're too close to someone, and it's going to stack up a whole line, and you're going to have to try to just maneuver your way through this rush hour traffic that you'll see here at South Boston. Irving Allison, though, not going to let that move by Colton Yeo really define this race, as he's still right on the back of him. Back in 3rd, Onjak. 4th, Colton Lane. 5th is up to Austin Murray. Now Brandon Morris, the pole sitter for the Darlington event for the Cup race. He's running double duty just like a lot of drivers this season. On the back at Jay Jefferson, and I saw up front Irving Allison going to get a nose back to the inside of Colton Yeo, and this is the battle for the race lead heading down into 1 and 2. And that time it will be Irving Allison. He will clear him once again. Colton Lane now battling for 3rd with Peter Onjak. That's another 2 drivers running double duty this weekend. Colton Yeo is not running double duty in the trucks or in the Cup race, I don't think. But I know Irving Allison is, and Allison... Irving Allison is not. Antoine Smith is in the 30 this week. That is my bad. But Colton Lane, Peter Onjak, Austin Murray, Brandon Morris, Jay Jefferson, all running double duty. You also got drivers like Tib Foster. He's running double duty. So a lot of drivers this week going from South Boston, the short track race on Saturday, to the Sunday event at Darlington, which is going to be just as chaotic. Up in front, though, Colton Lane now jumps to the inside of Colton Yeo. That's going to be for that 2nd position. Going to be confusing these two over the entire season because of the Coltons. But Lane on the inside of Yeo. That's the battle for that 2nd spot. Peter Onjak watching back there in 4th. Morris up to 6th as the field cycles around 12 of 75 complete. Now, one thing, we're going to go to this high-angle cam. You see Irving Allison out in front. Up front, little spread out. You got a lot of guys more single file. Then there's the 2x2, just pack of cars, the parking lot, as everyone's trying to get to the inside to make moves. And you see it's already over half the track behind is the drivers like Riley Spurleytube and Joseph Strigley, Dusty Neal, a lot of red and white trucks back there at the back of this pack. But you see, that's basically the gap right there, and that's how quick you're going to pull up on lap cars as they head on around here, especially if you're the leader and pulling away from the rest of the pack. You're going to run into this pack of trucks quickly, and it could make or break your race as they head on around 15 to 75 complete. We are now 1/4 of this race through, I believe. So this race is going by quick. Again, the lap times, we're going to take a look at Irving Allison's lap time. 15-second laps in that 82 truck, so not much time here. Really, if this goes green the entire way, you're running 4 laps a minute, basically. This race would be done in about 20, 25 minutes. pretty much. 20 to 25 minutes is all the green flag racing you'll have here. Again, because there are no green-white checkers in the truck series, that's basically the maximum you'll have is 20 to 25 green flag minutes. So short tracks are usually chaotic. That's why we don't run like 100 laps here at South Boston. But it should be a very quick race if they continue to be courteous and clean around this track. But at the back, you still have guys. They're going to be starting to move each other out of the way, starting to move people high, starting to move people low. We're just looking through as the Zachary Racing guys, and not too happy there. Bradley going way up on Zachary DeLello, and that's team boss, not just a teammate, but team boss. Zachary DeLello there. Aiden Smith moving up, and look at Alex Fletcher in the 32. Started this race 40th after failing inspection. He's now inside the top 15 for SimTech Racing Incorporated. This could be a career day for both Alex Fletcher in the Truck Series as well as SimTech Racing Incorporated's team's possible best finishes. Kukalon's going to look to the inside. Foster's also dropped back as they're 3 wide. Look at Gatlin Downey for Silver Wolf Racing. This could be the highest finish probably ever for a Mercedes truck in the NSDCA. Ethan Head might be the only one contending for that. Man, they are close. Aiden Smith, Kev Shearer, Tib Foster, 3 wide under a blanket back there. Looking the rest of the way, Colton Yo is trying to fight off the Evernham guys. Now Irving Allison, you see there, and now there's pretty much no gaps anywhere in this track. Irving Allison really closing in on Cody Smart there, and he will be catching in that number 82 truck for Shade Burkhardt Racing, which could be good and could be bad for On Jack Murray and the rest. We'll see how the lappers do, because we never really see lap traffic in the NSDCA races. Cup possibly in the future. If we get a lot of green flag races, we could see them on bigger tracks, but the short tracks are basically the only places we'll see lap traffic with how equal the fields are. And we never really have green flag runs at short tracks, so this is pretty nice, pretty good change of pace here. Jefferson back there in 4th, going to try for a move on Colton Lane. That's the battle for that 4th position, I should say. Colton Yo maintaining a top 10. Luke Rainey's up here. Jose Perez, Brandon Morris. Stephen Wallace Jr. is up here. Gatlin Downey, top 15 runs so far. Aiden Smith is moving up. Alex Fletcher's moving back. Turner was 2nd fastest in practice, but qualified this truck in 30th. He's right now moving his way towards the top 20 as he looks to the inside of not teammate for this race, but a team teammate as Tib runs on Giotto in the Cup Series. Jesse Turner, Tib Foster there. Max Anderson not doing too bad as Sebastian Kukalon is down pit road. That is an oil leak on the 20, so the mechanical issues continue as Irving Allison's now moving his way through the pack. Mechanical issues continue for Sauber Racing Team. That's going to cost them their chances at a good finish today. As Eric Monaco wants that lap back. He wants to be back on the lead lap, but Irving Allison, you just see, that's just a sea of trucks, and really it depends on who can get out faster, who can get around these guys faster, and who they really like let by and let get that inside line faster. And it's most likely it should be the 2nd or 3rd guys, because you'd be running out of chances to get your lap back. But now it looks like Irving, he's trapped between 2 RER trucks. You got Dusty Neal on that outside line. However, he's gaining a big margin over Peter Onjak and Austin Murray because of that. But Irving just has to hope and pray that he does not end up throwing this race away with these guys in front of him, possibly getting together, possibly wrecking each other. 30 is 75 complete here at South Boston. We're going to go ahead and bring you guys to a quick commercial break and take you back to the action here in just a few laps at South Boston. Irving Allison, Peter Onjak, Austin Murray, Jay Jefferson, and now Eli Bright are your top 5. The leaders now starting to deal with heavy lap traffic. We'll see how they deal with it here at South Boston. Bring you guys back to the action here at the BB&T 300 after this.
Hello.
Hi.
So, we invited you here today to get your honest opinion about this new car. But to keep it unbiased, we removed all the badging and all the logos, so you won't know what brand it is. So go ahead and take some time.
It's a Chevy Malibu.
So go ahead and take some time, check it out, and let me know what you think it is.
It kind of reminds me a little bit of like an Audi.
It's a Chevy Malibu.
See in the back, I would say Lexus.
Feels like a BMW.
Oh, who said that? A BMW? Really? Come on, guys, let's try and be a little bit more subtle.
The lines down here, they're seamless, like your classic German design.
Like a BMW Tesla combination.
Cheryl, are you high right now? Because that's not a real thing.
So let's look at the interior. It has keyless entry.
Oh.
Ooh, keyless entry. My 84 Nissan Maxima had keyless entry.
So this car supports Apple CarPlay.
Siri, open maps.
I don't understand.
Siri, open maps.
I don't see anything connected.
Siri, open maps.
Here's what I found on the web for gorilla masks.
Do any of you have kids?
I do.
Yes? This car has a feature built in called Teen Driver Technology, which lets parents view how their teens are driving.
We'll keep track of how many boys get in the car.
We're all just laughing now because this guy's daughter's a whore.
What price range would you put this car in?
50 to 65, I kind of like that range.
It leans more towards the $80,000 bracket.
I wouldn't pay a dime over 15.5.
Well, what if I told you this is the 2016 Chevy Malibu?
This car is a Chevy?
No way.
It's a Chevy.
Really? All you guys are surprised it's a Chevy Malibu? I tell you what, you know what, Gary? I hate you. I've been telling you the whole time it was a Malibu. And now you're the surprised one? Kevin, don't look at me like that. You guys probably gonna edit me right out of this commercial, huh? I hate all of you.
Back live at South Boston. You see at the bottom of your screen, Irving Allison moving his way on through. Austin Murray and Jay Jefferson now the next two in line. Eli Bright and Peter Onjak trying still to get around drivers like Kyle Corbett, Maxwell Fye. But Irving Allison right now, Cody Smart's been pretty much the guy pushing him through this corner. As Alex Peters even and Riley Spurleytube have gone down a lap. That's just how slow really it is being at the back of the pack. But Irving Allison has opened up about a 2-second gap, and you see it's a good margin back to Jay Jefferson and Eli Bright, who sits second and third. There's Murray in fourth, Peter Onjak fifth, Colton Lane sixth, seventh Perez, eighth Yo, ninth Rainey, and 10th now previous winner Stephen Wallace Jr. Morris 11th, Ray 12th, Banyako 13th, Shearer 14th, Downey 15th. Austin Johnson up to 16th. There's Kukalon. He is multiple laps down after they fixed that oil leak, but heartbreaking for the 20 team. Aiden Smith, Jesse Turner, Anderson Reed, Fletcher starting to drop back as Goforth moves on up. KGM falling back to mid-pack. Heartbreaking to see that. There's Matthew Brown, Antoine Smith, Larry Hagan. But Irving Allison now in an absolute gaggle of trucks. And with Alex Peters being the driver behind you, I don't know if I'd be too happy to have that guy behind me because he is fast. He's a championship contender this season, 6th in points for that 45 team. But Irving, he doesn't care. He's trying to put as many trucks as he can between himself and the rest of the field. So if we end up with green flag pit stops, as you see Colton Yo does come down pit road. We're going to go ahead and make a quick look. That is Colton Yo. He is good. So that was pit stops there for that that team, and you see a lot more teams coming on down. Anderson Reed, we saw on that report, he does have an engine failure, so heartbreaking for Anjado. Anderson Reed's season going from bad to worse. He now 28th in points, will probably fall back to Irving Allison, but this will be the key. Pit stops there. Irving Allison's bringing it on down pit road. We'll see if anyone stays out. There's Dusty Neal, Joseph Strigley, contact, and there's pretty much Jose Perez. He will be the new race leader, and you see how tight this is on track. You really have to not come down when it's all busy. You could be slowed up, and that could cost Irving Allison some time. A lot of drivers still out there, but Jose Perez looks to be the only guy. He and Cody Goforth will stay out on track. And look, Zachary DeLello's pit road looks to be on victory lane. So maybe we'll see if he can get in there at the end of this one. Eli Bright, Colton Lane, contact coming on in. Peter Onjak as well, contact coming on in. So again, it's 4 tires and fuel here. This is your one pit stop of the race unless we have another caution. And I'm just flying through the field really because I don't know who's going to be leading when they come on out. I don't know what it's going to be looking like when they come on out. But it looks like Irving Allison up front. DeLello is either a lap down or second. There's Jay Jefferson, so there's the gap between them. We're going to wait till the field cycles out to see what happened. I wouldn't think Irving would lose the lead to Jose Perez based off of that one checkup coming onto pit road, but we'll see when they cycle around, and you see the start-finish line on the left-hand side of your screen. Irving Allison will come across the line now, and he will return to the race lead. Jay Jefferson up to second, and he's at the back of that train a bit further behind Irving. Colton Lane third, Stephen Wallace Jr. up to fourth, Eli Bright fifth, Austin Murray sixth, Colton Yo seventh. In 8th, Brandon Morris, 9th, Jose Perez, 10th, Peter Onjak. So there's Irving right there heading past the wall opening in turn 2. And we're looking back to Peter Onjak in the top 10. There's his blue and orange truck. So he's about almost half a lap behind race leader Irving Allison right now. And there's Jay. He's the next closest driver, and he now has to try to get around Riley Spurleytube, Zach Rogers. And the thing here is, again, you remember how the NSDCA restart rules are and how lap cars are. At short tracks, it's the most chaotic because with the amount of possibility you could have with guys being laps down in front of you, this could really basically seal up Irving Allison's win as long as nothing else happens to him in that 82 truck. Ethan Head, Joseph Strigley going at it up front. Strigley is now going to go 2 laps down. Anderson Reed, the only driver out of this race with a camshaft issue. So they're already starting to lap drivers twice as Irving continues his push through the field. Jay Jefferson trying to get around drivers like Riley Spurleytube and the rest. Sebastian Kukalon now. That issue was, what, around lap 30? He might be able to, if he was saving fuel, he might be able to make it to the end. If not, he's going to be last. But right now he's 31st. There you see Irving further up. Jay Jefferson back in second, trying to fight his way through all this lap traffic. Colton Lane in third. Alex Peters 33rd. Got lapped down. They just did not hit the setup here. He's in 33rd position. Stephen Wallace Jr. sits fourth. This is a great performance we're seeing by CFRO this season. SWJ is 19th in points. Not really doing too much in the Cup or the trucks, but again, a top 20 is fantastic, especially after how bad CFRO was in the trucks last season. The 94 truck, of course, being part-time doesn't really give us a good position on driver's points. But Stephen Wallace Jr. up here, top 5 at a track he's won at before, is nice to see. Colton Yo, though, top 5 performance so far for Evernham. A lot of teams thought that he'd kind of fall out off of the bat, but again, a short track race, so the equipment's not going to be too much of a factor. Austin Murray has to fend off Brandon Morris and Eli Bright. This is like the only part of the track that has this many drivers on the lead lap fighting each other. There's Max Anderson sitting 35th for the debut for Arklatex Motorsports. Peter Onjak sits in 9th. Roger Ray sits in 10th. Jose Perez 11th. Alex Beniaco 12th. Jesse Turner fighting for that 12th position. He's going to get it there. Luke Rainey in 14th. Aiden Smith 15th. Tim Foster moving around Maxwell 5. That's 16th. Gatlin Downey wants to stay on the lead lap in 17th. Kev Shearer 18th. Cody Goforth 19th. And Alex Parker in 20th. 21st, Austin Johnson. 22nd, Matthew Brown. 23rd, Antoine Smith. 24th, Alex Fletcher. And that brings you back to race leader Irving Allison in that 82 truck. As Jay, that's just a whole bunch of trucks in front of him. I don't think he's going to be able to get around that with too much time left. 20 laps to go. Irving still working his way through the lap traffic as they're out in front of him. Everyone trying to stay on the lead lap here at the end. But Irving Allison putting on a clinic, putting on what he needed to do to win this race, to get back into the points hunt. And now for SBR, he's just 19 laps away, getting his first win on the season. Jefferson now still trying to get around guys like Strigley, DeLello holding him up. Spurleytube, Rogers back there in the 28 and 21. But Jefferson now, he's going to move DeLello and puts DeLello upside down. Caution is out and up and over the pit wall, almost back into his pit box. And Zachary DeLello, we're going to review that. We got to review that because Jay Jefferson might have just dumped Zachary DeLello to get a caution. And you know, the narrative continues that Jay's not happy with lap traffic, but man, Irving Allison in the race lead, Alex Fletcher in second, Ethan Head third, Logan Bradley, well, that's lappers. What am I saying? Irving Allison's first, Jefferson second, but the NSDCA is going under review. They've called down to the 48 team, asking already for the crew chief and the driver after the race, but who knows? Jeez. Zachary DeLello flips up and over the pit wall. It looked like Jefferson shoved him up the track. That honestly could be a parking for the 48 team, if depending. We gotta review it, of course, but Jay Jefferson has been in a lot of controversy this season. He's in second, Colton Lane's third, Stephen Wallace Jr. fourth, Colton Yo fifth, but Zachary DeLello up and over. Irving Allison will be the race leader, so he still has 4 lap trucks between him and Jay Jefferson, but I don't know if Jay's going to be allowed to finish this race because Zachary DeLello up and over. They're getting him out of the truck. DeLello's bouncing out of the truck. He's not very happy, but man, that truck went up and over the pit wall. We'll take a quick replay and we'll give the NSDCA some time to think about it. But Irving Allison, your race leader, Jay Jefferson in second, could have just brought out this caution with Zachary DeLello. We're going to take a couple looks at this. There's Zachary DeLello. This is coming out of turn 2, and he's been in front of Jefferson for a good portion of these last few laps, but Jay's going to look to the very inside, gets a nose down, and just pushes that 53 up, and it's a big hit, ramps up the wall, and flips multiple times up and over the pit wall. Thankfully, we have that reinforced roof here in the trucks, but you see Jay just all over the back of him, and it's just a little nudge, and the crash really is more insane than what the nudge was, so maybe that was the overreaction there, but man, just a hit and upside down. Thankfully, Spurleytube did not hit him in the roof. That could have been very scary, but thankfully DeLello is out of his truck. On board with Jefferson, just drive it in, and I don't think Jay, you know, I don't know if he meant to do it on purpose, but I know he didn't mean to flip DeLello, and taking a closer look here, he's on that rear quarter panel, just gives him a little push there, and then there's the nudge. Again, I really don't know if the NSDCA can call that intentional. I don't know if it's that big of an incident, because DeLello did flip over. I mean, obviously Jay didn't expect the 53 to flip over, but he was probably just trying to get by him, but we'll see. We'll take a look. DeLello bouncing off the wall again. Jay goes by, but that 53 up and over. Thankfully, Riley Spurleytube got by, but Jay definitely under some criticism there for that move. But Zachary DeLello in this 53 car, 53 truck for the Plan B sales team. First time with the sponsor this season, and it's going to be in a shower of sparks and a flip on the front straightaway here at South Boston. Brings us to the first caution of the day in the closing laps of the BB&T 300.
For every turn, a twist. For every start, an untimely finish. For every win, someone who loses it. For every number, a nation. For every celebration, a brawl. For every split second, years of work. For every heaven, a hell. For every good old boy, a good old girl. For every curse, a prayer. For every ounce of order, a jug of chaos. For every twist, there's a turn.
Back live a little early here at South Boston, but we just want to give an update to the situation. The NSDCA has deemed the crash not intentional, but they do still want to see Jay Jefferson and crew chief and car owner at the hauler after the race. Zachary DeLello has been taken out of his truck. He is in the infield care center. Hopefully he will be okay. It was a flip. It was a scary flip, but this is pretty low speed, and these trucks are built pretty well, especially after Talladega last season and the Riley Spurleytube incident years ago. So these trucks are pretty safe. Happy to see Zachary get out of the truck there. He was helped out of the truck, though, so hopefully nothing too serious that will affect his run at Darlington tomorrow. But Jay Jefferson has been called to the NSDCA hauler after the race, and it is not very happy from the NSDCA. They just did not deem it enough to park him, but they will be analyzing footage for the rest of this race and after the race to see. We'll go on with Jay. But Irving Allison in the race lead. Jay Jefferson is now 4 trucks back behind multiple lappers, so I don't think that anyone's going to be able to catch Allison now with all the lappers in there. Green flag's back in the air, though. Irving Allison jumps out into the race lead. Alex Fletcher, though, can he try to get a run to the inside? Not going to happen. Jefferson now being overloaded by Riley Spurleytube back there. Colton Lane in the 60 up to 3rd. The 02 of Yo's going to jump into 4th, so Irving Allison's just about 11 laps away from taking his first win on the season, and Alex Fletcher on the back of him, though. This could be big in the change of the momentum as Fletcher wants to finish this race on the lead lap for Simtech. He's up the track. Jefferson is also up the track. That's going to bring Colton Lane into the mix up there, but Irving Allison now trying to hang on over Alex Fletcher. There's Logan Bradley in the 57. Just saw his team owner flip across the track and into the pits and now Bradley down on the inside. Could he get up there, try to get his lap back for Zachary Racing? Colton Lane now in the 60 is there. Colton Yo in the 02 is up in this battle. Looking even further back, just looking through the field, making sure we stay green, stay clean and green. There's Gatlin Downey. He might have had an issue on pit road, or that truck's just slow now. But Irving Allison now trying to hang on over lappers. It's way too far back for Lane and Jefferson to catch him now. These guys should all be good on fuel, especially with no green-white checkers in the Crown Royal Truck Series. So I think Allison's pretty much good and clean, basically, to just come out and win this race. He just has to not lose that many spots. Colton Lane now to the inside of Jefferson. That's for the second position. But Jefferson now up on the outside. Here comes Colton Yo in the 02. He's going to try to make a move. Bradley now, he's 24th, so that's 24 on the lead lap. Larry Hagan wants to get on the lead lap. And I know Irving probably doesn't want to lose too many spots here, but there's 5 to go. Don't tear your truck up. Lane's coming, but he still has 2 more lap trucks around him. Just let Hagan go by there. Don't even fight these lappers right now. You don't want them to end up crashing into you, getting their lap back. So Irving, he's 5 laps away from taking home the victory, which is just about over a minute. But here comes Riley Spurley to Colton Lane's coming, though. Allison, if they do have an issue, Eric Monaco on pit road, brake failure on the 72. But there's Riley Spurleytube all over the back. Colton Yo's now into third, but Spurleytube on the back of Allison if he wants that lap back. He's in the 26th spot right now. That could be big for Irving Allison because that is a driver behind him. Jay Jefferson has a chance there. Colton Yo now into second. But Allison's going to go back by Hagan, and this pretty much is all they wrote. As long as he stays on track and there's no incident here for this 82 team, he's going to victory lane. We're going to take a look at the battle for second now as Colton Yo moves around Colton Lane. That's for third. Jefferson's now dropped to fifth in that 48 truck. And Yo now in second, trying to hang on for those points. He's up in this second position. A great run so far today. And now Ethan Head making a move to the inside of Spurleytube. Irving Allison has a bunch of lappers around him. Coming around for the white flag. He's dominated this race. The lappers were really the key factor in this 82 taking this white flag here for the 82 of Irving Allison, trying to save his championship run in this 82 truck, coming off of turn 2 and down the back straightaway. Irving Allison for Shade Burkhart Racing. A spin up in front is not going to bring out the caution or screw him up. Irving Allison will win at South Boston. Colton Yo second, Murray third, Lane fourth, Jefferson fifth, Cody Smart's on pit road. So a lot of guys, either they were running out or something was going on. But Jefferson making a lap. Maybe he does not want to come into the hauler that quickly. But a little bit more information on this as we are at the end of the race. We'll talk about Irving here in a minute. But Jay Jefferson, they are calling him to the hauler, and they are saying there's a possibility because he's been in these incidents before, you know, at Memphis, he took out the Monster Motorsports guys. In the past, he's really been up and on these lap drivers. So Jay Jefferson will be taken to the NASCAR or the NSDCA hauler after the race. Whoops, slip up there. But he will be taken to the hauler after the race. They'll have to give him a warning there. But Irving Allison in the 82 comes home with the victory. A dominant performance there. Colton Yo in second. In third is Austin Murray. In fourth is Colton Lane. And in fifth is Jay Jefferson. So the top 5 there. One guy going to the hauler after the race. I think he's being pushed back to his pit by Tib Foster there. I believe that's him in the 90 behind Jefferson. But Irving Allison, dominant performance. He's going to come home with the victory. An exciting race. We had a very clean race in comparison to other short track races. An opening stint of, 50-some laps, green flag pit stops that cycled the field around. Colton Yo being the underdog, staying right up in front, but Irving Allison making a much-needed gain in the points. A race win, though he still has to gain a lot of spots and hope that we don't have a wild card situation like last year with a bunch of different winners for him to get into the chase, possibly on another wild card. But SBR has to be celebrating that one, a dominant performance. Last 2 short tracks in the trucks have actually had dominant performances. Kukalon led all 75 laps at Memphis, and here at South Boston, the number 82 led most of the race. Not all the race, but almost all of the race. So great run there. A lot of drivers, some controversy at the end. Zachary DeLello is checked and released. He's happy to be out, but going over to talk to the Texas Star Racing team right now. It's been a bad season for ZR, for Zachary Racing and DeLello himself, so that probably not too happy with him just running laps down and still taken out by second place. But We will see you guys at the next race. The next race is the Pocono Doubleheader. So a big Pennsylvania weekend coming up soon. That's going to be, I believe, 3 races at Pocono. 1 at, I believe, Steelback or CNB. I think CNB is part of the Pennsylvania weekend. But a lot of PA events coming up for the next time we're here at the Truck Series. Darlington is tomorrow for the Cup Series, so we're excited to see that. Zachary DeLello was approved to run the Cup race. Thank you guys so much for watching here, the BB&T 300 at South Boston. 75 laps of action-packed racing. See you guys next time on the NSDCA.